Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here. Bible I picked up for not much from CBD because the Holman Christian Standard Version is going out of business. Now, I'll get a Bible like this just because sometimes in my research and my studies, if I write an article or something, write a book, there'll be something in here that I can use. And so this is the Study Bible for Women, and it says it comes in digital and print. I'll show you what's on the back too. It's, I like the green. Now I know it's for women, not for men, but I personally like the green. I'm going to show you the spine here because the spine is done so nicely as well. Just kind of shocked at how nice it is. Also had a little swatch, you know, kind of showing you what the color was. And I know many ladies like this particular color. So it's kind of a taller, thin Bible. We'll probably measure it in a little bit. And of course, Holman Christian Standard is going to be published by Holman, and they have been coming out with some of the most magnificent LeatherTouch, LeatherFlex, LeatherSoft, and it's the proprietary imitation leather that they're doing now that Nelson has, Holman has, some other Bible companies have, Cambridge has, and their imitation leathers are lasting about as long as the old bonded leathers, and in some cases as long as the genuine leathers, because they're so, and you can see it's sewn inside and out, the inside binding. I mean, this is the finest Bibles are done like that. And it's really just a petroleum-based imitation leather, but you can see it's flexible, it lasts a long time. I'll show you the spine. I like the silver on the spine. Just a good color schema on the entire thing. And it has the silver edging that is extraordinarily well done. There's no train tracks on there, which is the sign of a fine Bible. I've been finding some Bibles done by fine Bible makers, like Cambridge and different ones, that'll have the train tracks. This one doesn't even have the train tracks, this unevenness. And it's purple when you open it. I've already shown that, and then I'll show the introduction page as well. Very well done. Whoever designed this Bible did a great job designing the Bible. And it has, as you can see, kind of a mauve, dusty rose, pink ribbon marker as well. Really nice ribbon marker. So, oh, it's good size, just perfect size, perfect thickness too. Ribbon markers can be either too big, too small, not thick enough, on and so forth. So let's see, this thing is a tad over 9 inches high. So it's kind of a, oh, how would I describe it? Kind of a tall, skinny kind of Bible is really what it is. And so that's the height. And let's see the width. The width is about 6 1/4. Now that's in real world terms. A lot of times you'll have to watch, like when you go on their websites and stuff, they measure the book block, but the yap goes, you know, out beyond the book block. So I always like to measure in real world terms what you're actually going to be carrying. Wish I had a little scale here, but it's not heavy Bible. And it looks like it's about 1.8 inches wide, which is, I mean, thick, which is a little thicker than I thought it was going to be, to tell you the truth, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. Now, I'll tell you, I may have moved that ruler too quickly. Holman's been coming out with great boxes, and I'm talking about their sturdiness. This one's not quite as sturdy as some of the ones I've been dealing with recently. Wow. Look at this. The Ketubah. In Judaism, the Ketubah, literally her writing, is a unilateral marriage contract required from the groom. Wow. the wedding. So, I mean, you get all kind of stuff even in the front here. Let's look at all this. I mean, you can learn, like I learned things just then reading that. Sure, I may have read it somewhere before, but maybe it'll stick in my cranium this time. So that's kind of like a traditional Bible there, but then look at this. I mean, just, and all this is going to be on nice glossy paper at the front of the Bible. So that's pretty cool. The stuff that has, appreciate Brother Mallory going in and out here, zooming in and out. Does an amazing job. Great ministry he's got. Hallelujah. Trying to win the world for Jesus. That's the goal. Want everybody to get apostolic truth. So this is really cool. Family milestones. Look at this, my spiritual mothers. And then just a great color scheme right there. Just well designed to this point, all the way around. So let's see, it's by Dorothy Kelly Patterson. Wow, that's Paige Patterson's wife, I think, maybe daughter. Rhonda Harrington Kelly. Then it shows the editorial, Katie McCoy, Stephanie Dan Lang, Lauren Johnson, Tamira Hernandez, Susie Hawkins, Sharon Gritz. Sharon Gritz must be from the South, amen. Candy Finch. I went to school with a young lady named Candy Melton. So it's put out in 2014. Wow. And even the table of contents, I have never seen a table of contents like this before, ever, to my remembrance. I mean, I may have done several hundred Bible reviews, believe it or not, on YouTube. You can go check them out on our YouTube page. Brother Mallory and his helpers always put them in a special spot so you can go watch all of them, but that is amazing. So how to study the Bible. How can I read the entire Bible? By Dorothy Kelly Patterson. You know, I was doing some things that she did a while back, and it was pretty strong on modesty in different areas like that. Like I was thinking apostolics, you know, need to take note. Sometimes apostolics tend to be beat down and tend to be ashamed of what they believe. They don't need to be. If it's the truth, it's the truth. Even if nobody else believes it. Look at Noah. I mean, nobody else believed it much. Billions of people on planet Earth, it's been said, by the time the flood came, and he still was saved. So believe it. Highly impressed here, I mean, with this map. Let's see what an introduction looks like too. Let's go to the beginning of Genesis and see what this looks like. So it does look like the notes are on the side, which is fascinating. Instead of traditionally at the bottom, the notes are at the bottom, they're on the side, and there's nothing wrong with that. It does look like it's a 10-point print, and the notes look like they're 8-point print. There is quite a difference between the notes and the main text. So transliteration charts, we'll go through this. I've noticed on some Bibles recently they've been putting the table of weights and measures instead of at the back, they're putting it at the front. But just a well done Bible, well put together. We'll show you here too, before we get into this Genesis introduction, that it does have kind of a decorative head and tail bands, which is usually only found on the finest Bibles. Now, the leather flex is not so soft you're going to be able to roll it up like a Church Bible Publishing or something like that. So really like this. It's got word study, it's got chronology, it's got all kinds of stuff. Now, it is kind of unique to have a Bible where the Bible pages themselves are not in white, the traditional white onion skin or India paper, but it's very readable, and that's what it counts, you know, is it readable or not? And yes, it is readable with minimal ghosting, and they may have done it like this to kind of mitigate or to alleviate some of the ghosting. So let's go, we may go to like Deuteronomy 22:5 and just see what it says there, to see if there's a note. I know Mrs. Patterson's done some good notes in there before. Okay, so Deuteronomy 22:5. Sometimes the pages will stick together when they do this edging. The pages stick together, but that's okay. Okay, 22:5. It says, in this verse, Moses wrote that everyone who does not dress, it's small print, sorry, does not dress according to his gender is detestable to the Lord. Several times in the New Testament, the importance of what is appropriate for godliness and the outward appearance of women is discussed. 1 Corinthians 11:2-12, 1 Timothy 2:9 and 10, and 1 Peter 3:3 and 4. Kaboom. I mean, that's just good stuff right there. So, let's see. Well, let's go to the beginning of Psalms. Let's see how the beginning of Psalms is. Yeah, it's just like the beginning of Genesis, really, as far as the color scheme. But I do like the silver. Silver, you know, you see gold edging so much on Bibles. Sometimes when you get red or you get silver, it really stands out and looks good. When you get the red, man, it looks just like, you know, you're dealing with an older type Bible. Takes you back to a certain era. Okay, the wife of Ezekiel's got that biblical womanhood, sexuality, social ethics, and hermeneutics. Well, I mean, there's just a lot of good stuff here. Let's see. We're going to go between Malachi and Matthew. And of course, there is nothing there. Now, let's see if it's red letter. It is not red letter. Just show you, I mean, like this is page is emblematic of many of the pages in here. So it's loaded. So it's a good size. I mean, it's not got the snap flap or the zipper, don't put it in your purse kind of thing, but it's a good size, incredibly well done as far as being well made and well designed. What can I say about that? Looks like some of the Old Testament prophecies quoted in the New are in dark. Wow, I just want to show you. I was trying to get to the back, but, you know, passing through Revelation, I just thought, well, I'll just show you some of this. Good stuff. Now, some of you might think the page is too dark or something. That's just personal preference to me. And I haven't sat and tried to read it for like 10, 20 minutes at a time. So I don't know how that would fit my eyes. So, eschatology, interpreting Revelation, Holman Christian Standard Bullet Notes, which this is a nice feature. Really good feature. I like that. And looks like it's got a concordance in here. Now, the pages being a different color, they're actually, you know, deeper on the sides than in the middle. Parts of the middle do look like it's in white. Looks like it's 7-point print, but it's very clear. It's readable. May even be as low as 6-point print, which would be very small. But the headings of what you're looking up in the concordance are very nice. it does in fact have the Holman Bible maps, which I appreciate the Holman maps, especially in the Exodus, because they have the nation of Israel going through water, which for decades, even so many of your most conservative Bibles have not been showing the nation of Israel going through water. I don't know if they think that it dried up or what happened, but just excellent map here. Maps. I don't know how many maps it's got. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total maps. A little sheet of paper there. Let me see if there's something between the bullet points and the concordance too. Let's just look that up. It does have contributors. So this does go, yeah, Dorothy Kelly Patterson, a homemaker, helps her husband Paige, president of Southwestern Baptist Theological. All right. So Women's Evangelical Commentary, Old Testament contributor, New Testament contributors. Wow. Citations, Messianic prophecies, hard questions. Boy, so a lot of good stuff. Doctrine, index of features, biblical womanhood. Good stuff in here. Let me just show you the contributors. We're going to look up something else. So this kind of goes along. I've done reviews on the women's commentaries from the Old and New Testament. So this kind of goes along with that, which is kind of neat. Kind of unique. But let's see some of the notes. Maybe 1 Timothy 2. See what's going on in 1 Timothy 2 here. She quoted that in Deuteronomy 22:5. 1 Timothy 2. Yeah, I really like these chronologies at the beginning. Like, hard question. How can you support the persecuted church? We really need to, the Bible says to pray for those that are undergoing persecution. Okay, so 2:9. Boundaries for women in a church service. I do not allow a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. This apostolic directive is more than just his personal preference. Rather, it's prompted by the creation order and divine mandate. First, he notes a woman is not to teach a man in the worship assembly. A teacher is one who effectively gives systematic explanation of truth to others as an emphasis on its application to daily living. Wow. Appears only here in New Testament. It's rare in existing Greek literature. Second, a woman is not to have authority over the man in the worship assembly. A woman is to keep silence. And the best translation is in quietness. Women are to receive instruction with an inner attitude of quietness, submission to the truth of the gospel. You don't see that in many study Bibles. I'll just tell you that. Women are encouraged both to pray and to prophesy in 1 Corinthians 11:5. That's good. So it really doesn't have a note on 2, 9, and 10. It has the office of a pastor, word study. Let's see what it says on 1 Corinthians 11. And then we'll just end it there, Lord willing. 1 Corinthians 11. Biblical woman had man as the head of woman. Wow, look at that. Lord's Supper. Okay, in Paul's day, the only women whose head were shaved or who wore short hair were prostitutes or adulteresses. So then he goes on and say it's nature. How about that? Because of the angels. There's a lot here. Then it skips 11, 15, and 16. But look at this. Man is the head of woman. Wow. So that is incredible. The old joke, feminists of the world tremble that no, we're all in the image of God. But that is amazing that the Southern Baptist Convention even deals with those subjects. They go where angels fear to tread. So they're to be commended for making a stand here in the end time. So pretty neat. The Study Bible for Women, Holman Christian Standard. I don't know if they've come out with it with CSB or not. God bless. Talk with you later in Jesus' name.